A strange rescue in space asterisk. The stars were quiet. The space around the cargo ship, Orion Drift, was dark and still. Jack Morgan, a young human engineer, sat alone in the pilot's seat. His ship was old but strong, just like him. He was used to silence. But today, something strange happened. A beep broke the calm. "Unknown object detected," said the ship's AI. Jack leaned forward. "What is it?" "Life form ... weak signs. Drifting in space." Jack narrowed his eyes. A small dot blinked on the VA screen, far from any planet or station. He had two choices: ignore it and keep flying, or check it out. He chose the second. "Let's go, Drift," he said. 15 minutes later, Jack reached the object. It was a pod, broken, spinning slowly, cracks across its shell. Inside, through the damaged glass, he saw a shape. Not human. The body was tall, maybe 9 feet, curved, strong limbs, pale violet skin. Long silver hair floated weightlessly. And something else, a glowing blue light in the chest area. Actually, 2 glowing orbs. Jack blinked. Is that her chest glowing? He didn't have time to wonder. The life form was fading. He had to act fast. He connected the pod to his airlock and pulled the figure inside. The alien girl was heavy. Her armor was sleek and smooth, but battle-damaged. He placed her gently on a med table. The ship's scanner worked fast. Female, unknown species. Energy signature ... unstable. Signs of trauma and exhaustion. Jack cleaned her wounds and gave her oxygen. Then he waited. An hour passed. Suddenly, she gasped. Her eyes opened, bright and glowing green. She sat up fast, her arms covering her chest. "Who are you?" she asked sharply. Jack raised his hands. "Hey, easy. You're safe. I found your pod floating." She looked around. "Where am I?" "My ship. I'm Jack, human. And you?" She didn't answer. Her eyes locked on her chest. The 2 glowing orbs, like shining coconuts, were exposed slightly. She quickly pulled her armor closed, blushing. Or something like it. Jack turned away. "Sorry, I didn't mean to see anything. I was just trying to help." She watched him for a moment. "You're not like others," she said slowly. "Others?" "Aliens. From your kind. They stare. They grab. You helped." Jack shrugged. "I don't grab people. I fix things." She relaxed a little, but still looked nervous. Jack brought her water. "What's your name?" "Alara," she replied, softly. "From Varnix. That's not in human maps. It wouldn't be." Jack noticed something. Every time Alara looked at him, the glow in her chest became brighter. And she would look away quickly, as if embarrassed. He smiled gently. "Are those lights normal for your people?" She looked down again. "They're called Varnix cores. They store energy. But when we feel strong emotions, they glow." "Emotions? Like fear, or other things," she said, avoiding his eyes. Jack didn't push further. He changed the topic. "What happened to your pod?" She paused. "I was escaping. From what?" Alara looked at the stars outside the window. "From the ones who betrayed me. And now, they'll come for me. For you, too." Jack stood still. A shiver ran down his spine. "Wait. You mean someone is tracking you?" "Yes," she whispered. "And if they find us, they won't ask questions. They will destroy everything." Suddenly, the ship's alarm rang. Incoming signal detected. Unknown vessel approaching at high speed. Jack and Alara looked at each other. "They found me," she said. Jack ran to the control panel. "We can't fight. My ship's not made for that." Alara stood beside him. Her hands glowed softly. "Then we run. But if they catch us, I will protect you." Jack stared at her, this giant alien girl, glowing softly and hiding her own body in shame, yet brave enough to face danger. "All right," he said. Let's run together." The ship engines roared. Orion Drift turned and jumped into hyperspace, leaving the enemy signal behind for now. But in the quiet hum of the ship, Jack knew one thing clearly. He didn't just save a stranger. He might have started something much bigger. Asterisk, the silence. Inside the Orion Drift was louder than any engine noise. Alara sat on the edge of the medical bed, her back straight, her long silver hair falling gently over her shoulders. She wore a silver chest plate now, one that shimmered with faint energy. Her pale violet skin glowed softly under the ship's light. But Jack wasn't looking at her glow. He was looking at the floor. Awkwardly, "I brought breakfast," Jack said, placing a tray on the table. "Well, technically it's protein bars and synthetic eggs." Alara tilted her head. "Why is it called synthetic if it tastes so strange?" Jack chuckled. "Welcome to human cuisine." She tried a small bite. Her eyes widened. "It tastes like sadness." Jack burst out laughing. "That's fair." Even though they had escaped the mysterious signal the night before, Jack stayed on edge. He had questions, big ones. Like, who was Alara really? What was she running from? And what the hell were those glowing blue spheres on her chest? But every time he tried to ask, she blushed. Not with her cheeks, her whole body shimmered. Especially the glowing orbs, which seemed to pulse whenever she got flustered. Jack had learned quickly. Don't stare at the coconuts. He sat across from her, slowly chewing his food. "So, how's the armor?" Alara looked down at her silver chestplate. "It helps. My cores stay covered." Jack raised an eyebrow. "Cores?" She nodded. "Serious now." "The energy centers of my people. We call them Varnix hearts. They're linked to emotion, strength, even memory." Jack scratched his chin. "And blushing?" Alara narrowed her eyes. "Your species shares no energy traits with emotions. Only bad dancing and bad decisions." He grinned. Suddenly, the lights flickered. A strange vibration ran through the ship. Jack stood up. "That's not good." The AI spoke. Power fluctuation detected in life support systems. He looked at Alara. She was glowing again. Bright this time. "Wait, is that you?" "I'm sorry," she said quickly, her voice soft. "I was thinking about something." "It must have triggered a surge." Jack raised an eyebrow. "What were you thinking about?" She turned away. "Not important." The lights dimmed again. Jack sighed. "Well, maybe next time don't think so hard about whatever makes you blush and almost kill us." Alara covered her face. "This is why I stayed hidden from humans who make everything worse." "Hey," Jack said kindly. "I don't think you're dangerous, just ... emotionally electric." They moved to the engine room. Jack worked on stabilizing the power, while Alara watched closely. She asked questions, curious, sharp, intelligent. She wanted to understand the human ship, the human way of fixing things. Jack noticed something. For someone from a warrior race, she was gentle. "You're not what I expected from a 9-foot-tall space girl with glowing chest bombs." Jack sighed. Alara blinked. "Bombs? Sorry, bad joke." She tilted her head. "Your humor is strange, but it softens my anxiety." "That's my secret weapon," Jack smiled. "Terrible jokes." Later, in the common room, Jack played a few Earth videos for her, comedy clips, music, and old movies. She sat like a child discovering color for the first time when she saw a cartoon character fall and get up. She laughed. Not loud, just a soft, breathy laugh. Her first laugh since she arrived. And again, her cores glowed. Jack saw it and quickly looked away. "There they go again." "I can't help it," Alara said, trying to stop the glow with her hands. "The more I feel anything, the more they react." "You should be proud," Jack said gently. "Most people don't feel anything at all." Then came the moment that changed everything. The ship's computer flashed red. Encrypted message received. Origin, Deep Varnic Sector. Message, urgent. Alara froze, her body stiffened. Her glow dimmed instantly. Jack opened the message. All symbols, alien code. Alara rushed forward and shut the screen. No, Jack looked at her. What does it say? Ilara's voice dropped. They know I'm with you now. They're coming. Who's coming? She stepped back, afraid. Eyes wide. Not bounty hunters, not soldiers, the Varnic's Core Guard. The ones who protect the great secret. Jack stood up slowly. And what secret is that? Alara looked at him with deep sadness. That my coconuts are not just energy containers. Jack blinked. Wait. She stepped closer. They're keys. To something ancient. Something buried. Something no one, especially humans, should ever wake. Some secrets don't whisper. They hum. And right now, deep inside the Orion Drift, something was humming, softly, but not quietly. A strange, pulsing sound. Like a heartbeat made of light. Jack stood frozen in the hallway, staring through the half-open door of the ship's storage bay. Inside, Alara knelt on the cold metal floor, her hands pressed to her glowing chest. Her coconuts, her cores, were glowing brighter than ever. Blue light filled the room, circling her in soft waves. Jack didn't say a word. He just watched. Inside her mind, Alara wasn't on the ship anymore. She was back home, on the mountains of Varnix Prime. The wind was strong. The skies above. Her people's temples crackled with storms. She remembered the ceremony, the voices, the pain. Her cores were implanted when she was just 12. Not as weapons. As locks. Each core carried half of a forgotten code, a code that could unlock a lost machine buried deep inside the planet. A machine her people swore to protect. By sealing the keys inside living hosts, only the strongest were chosen. Only the quietest survived. Back in the present, Jack finally stepped forward. Alara, he said gently, you okay? She turned slowly. Her eyes glowed like her cores, wide, distant, scared. I didn't mean for you to see, she whispered. But they're waking. They? Jack asked. You mean the cores? She nodded. They've been silent for years. But now, something is calling them. Jack looked around. From where? We're in the middle of nowhere. No, she said. You don't understand. It's not a place, it's you. Jack blinked. Me? She looked away, almost embarrassed. Your emotions, they stir them. Jack gave a half smile. What? I'm some kind of emotional power source, in a way. Yes, Alara said. Varnix technology was always bonded with feeling. That's why your people scare us. You feel everything. Later, they sat in the control room. The lights were low. The stars outside drifted slowly. Jack sipped his rehydrated coffee. Alara sat across from him, her armor slightly open at the chest, the glow dim again. I have to know, Jack said quietly. What happens if those cores fully activate? Alara hesitated. Then the map reveals itself. Map to the last engine. Jack leaned in. What's the last engine? She looked him in the eyes. Power. Enough to restart a sun. Or erase one. Jack dropped his cup. You're carrying a nuclear keychain in your chest. It's not nuclear. It's old. Before stars had names. Before galaxies had borders. They were silent for a while. Then Alara said something unexpected. I was supposed to keep the keys hidden, quiet, unused, but I'm not sure I can anymore. Jack frowned. Why? Because every time you look at me like I matter. She paused. The cores believe you. Jack looked away. He wasn't used to someone saying things like that. Not out here. Not in space. Especially not someone with glowing alien hardware. The ship's AI interrupted them. Signal intercepted. Encrypted message. Source. Unregistered drone. Message repeating. Return the keys or face consequences. Ilara stood up fast. They found us again. Jack grabbed the controls. I thought we lost them. They don't chase us through space, she said. They follow the cores. Wherever I go, they sing. Jack looked at her. What if you didn't have to run? Ilara blinked. What do you mean? Jack stared at the stars ahead. What? If we unlock the map before they do? Ilara looked terrified. No, that would bring death. Or answers, Jack replied. Maybe this last engine is the reason you were sent into space in the first place. She sat down again, shaking her head. I was just a carrier, a hidden vault. They never meant for me to use the cores. I was disposable. Not to me, Jack said softly. Ilara looked up. Jack continued. You're not just a lock, you're a person. A friend. If something inside you is calling, maybe it's time we listened. Suddenly, the cores glowed again, not bright, but steady. Soft. Calm, like they agreed. Ilara breathed deeply. If we follow the signal, there's no going back, Jack smirked. I was never good at turning around. Asterisk, somewhere between two dead moons, a small human ship floated like a lost leaf. Inside, the lights flickered for the third time that hour. Okay, Jack said, holding a spanner. If the lights go out one more time, I'm gonna start blaming your coconuts. Ilara blinked. You mean my cores? Jack smirked. Right, your emotionally unstable energy reactors that glow every time you get flustered. Ilara folded her arms. I do not get flustered. Right on cue, the cores on her chest glowed a soft blue, bright enough to light the hallway. Jack pointed. Exhibit A. They had been flying blind for days, chasing a signal only Ilara could feel. She said it came from the cores themselves. A pulse, a memory, a whisper. Jack didn't hear anything. But he trusted her, which was weird. Because he didn't trust many people, especially not tall alien women with chest-based star weapons. In the mess hall, Jack handed Ilara a mug. Try this, he said. Hot chocolate. It's a human emotion stabilizer. She took a sip. Her eyes widened. It's sweet and warm. She looked down at the drink. It feels like comfort. Exactly, Jack smiled. Now if your coconuts explode, maybe they'll smell like cocoa. Ilara gave him a flat stare. That was inappropriate, she said. Little bit. Jack admitted. Later that night, Jack couldn't sleep. The ship's engines hummed softly. But something felt off. He walked to the observation window and saw her there, standing alone, gazing at the stars. Her silver hair floated slightly, and her cores glowed just enough to light the glass. You okay? He asked. She didn't turn. I don't think the cores are just keys anymore. Jack moved closer. What do you mean? I think they're learning. Learning what? She looked at him now. Her expression was soft, confused, maybe even a little afraid. They're responding to you. Your presence, your voice, your laughter. Jack raised an eyebrow. You're saying I'm teaching your ancient alien reactors how to feel? Yes, he laughed. I knew I was a bad influence. Then, without warning, the ship jolted. Alarms rang. The lights flickered, then went out completely. Power failure, the AI said. Life support compromised. Jack rushed to the control room. Ilara followed. Was that a system error? Jack shouted. No, Ilara said, eyes wide. It was me. He turned. What? She clutched her chest. The cores were pulsing violently now, glowing white-blue, hotter than before. I lost control. I had a dream. About the temple. About the engine. And when I woke up, they reacted. Jack stared. Your emotions triggered a full ship shutdown? Yes, she said. I think the cores are waking up faster than I am. Jack took a deep breath. Okay, no more hot chocolate. Ilara almost smiled. They managed to restore basic power. But life support was still shaky. Jack handed Alara a maintenance tablet. You want to help me fix this? Might calm your cores down. She nodded. They worked side by side in the engine room, welding, stabilizing conduits, rerouting flow. Alara was focused, quiet, her glow dimmed as she concentrated. Jack couldn't help but watch her, not because of her size or glow or alien curves, but because she was trying. Really trying. She didn't ask to carry the cores, didn't ask to be hunted, but she was still here, helping. That meant something. When they were done, Jack leaned against the wall. Hey, he said. You did good. Alara turned. I almost broke your ship. Yeah, Jack grinned. But you also fixed it. That's teamwork. Her cores flickered again, softly. Like a purr. Then, suddenly, the ship's radar beeped. Unidentified. Object detected. Approaching fast. Jack ran to the screen. Looks like a drone. No, too. Varnick's signature. Alara went pale. They've sent seekers. What do we do? Jack asked. She looked down at her chest. The cores were glowing, but different now. Not from fear. From choice. She met his eyes. We don't run this time. Jack nodded. All right, what's the plan? Alara stepped forward. We give them something to chase. Something bright. As the Orion drift powered up again, Alara stood at the front window, her armor open at the top. The cores shined like twin stars. Not from panic. Not from shame. But from control. From purpose. And Jack, watching beside her, knew. The girl who once blushed in silence was now ready to burn in defiance. The stars were quiet again. Too quiet. Jack didn't like quiet anymore. Not after learning that quiet in space usually meant something was watching. He sat in the pilot seat, fingers drumming on the console. His eyes scanned the radar. Again, just 2 blinking dots. Same as the last hour. 2 Varnick seekers. Small, fast, deadly. They weren't attacking yet. They were waiting, and that scared him more. Behind him, Alara stood by the window. Her armor was half on. Her cores still glowed, but not wildly like before. Now, they were calm. Focused. Like she'd made a decision she couldn't unmake. Jack finally turned. All right, he said. Say what? She asked without looking. That thing. You've been holding back since they showed up. She stayed silent. Jack leaned back. Let me guess. You used to be one of them. Her shoulders stiffened. Bingo. Double quotes. I was trained by the Corps Guard, she said quietly. Before I ran. Jack sat up. You were one of the bounty hunters? No, she said. Worse, I was a key carrier. I was taught to obey, to contain. The cores, not use them. But you ran. I failed a test, she whispered. I cried during a memory extraction. They said emotions made me dangerous. Jack looked at her carefully. You feel too much, he said softly. That's your greatest strength. She blinked. No one had ever said that before. Suddenly, the ship shuddered. Enemy probe incoming, the AI warned. External scan in progress. They're locking on, Jack said. Do we fight or flee? Alara stepped forward. We fight, smart. In the storage bay, she opened a case Jack had never seen before. Inside were strange metal rings, glowing with ancient code. What are those? Jack asked. Core bindings, she said, for emergencies. They suppress power. Wait, suppress? I thought you needed more power. She looked at him with steady eyes. If I don't control it, I might take the ship down with me. Jack hesitated. So, you're going to fight with one hand tied behind your back? She smiled. That's still more than enough. As the drones closed in, Jack powered up the ship's pulse cannons. They were weak. Meant for debris, not war. But he had something better. A glowing alien girl who used to be a weapon. Outside, the 2 Varnick's drones moved like sharks, fast, smooth, and silent. They fired scanners, lasers, warnings. But they didn't expect what happened next. Alara stepped onto the hull. No suit. No tether. Just boots, armor, and cores glowing like twin blue suns. Jack watched from inside, nervous. You sure this is a good idea? No, she said through the comm. But it's the only one I have. One drone fired. Alara moved, not away, toward it. She pushed off the ship and flew like a comet. Her cores flared, pulsing light through her limbs. She landed on the drone, ripped off its scanning arm, and sent a shockwave through its systems. It exploded seconds later. Jack shouted, "Nice shot!" The second drone tried to escape, but it was too late. Alara landed back on the ship as its remains drifted into silence. Inside the ship, Jack opened the airlock and pulled her in. "You're crazy," he said, smiling. She dropped the bindings onto the floor. "I know." Her armor hissed open slightly. Her cores were pulsing, slowly now, like they were tired. Jack grabbed a towel and handed it to her. "You good?" Alara looked up, her expression unreadable. "No," she said. "There will be more." Later, they sat in the quiet dark of the mess hall. Alara held a cup of water. Jack nursed a sore wrist. "That was only a scout team," she said. Jack nodded. "How long until the real hunters show up?" "Days," she whispered. "Maybe hours." Jack leaned forward. "Then we make a choice." "What kind?" "We stop running. We follow the signal. Unlock the cores. Find the engine." Alara stared into her cup. "And if we find it?" Jack smiled faintly. "Then we hope it's not just a weapon, but something more." "Like what?" "Like a second chance." She looked at him for a long time. Then something strange happened. Her cores glowed softly. Not from fear, not from anger, but from something else. Maybe trust. Maybe something warmer. She turned her head quickly. "I'm not blushing," she said. Jack grinned. "Sure, it's just your radioactive chest keys heating up again." Outside the window, far beyond the nearest star, something else moved. Slow, silent. Watching. The real hunt had just begun. Asterisk space was endless. But somehow, this part felt quiet. Not silent, peaceful. The Orion drift floated between two fading stars, their light casting a warm orange glow over the ship's hull. Inside, Jack stood in the observation deck, looking out. No alarms, no chases. No glowing drones trying to blow them up. Just silence. And her Alara stood a few feet away. Her armor opened at the top, not all the way, just enough to let her cores breathe. The soft blue light in her chest pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat learning a rhythm. "I didn't know stars could die," she said softly. Jack glanced at her. "Yeah, some fade, some explode." She nodded, like people. For the past hour, they hadn't spoken much. Not about the bounty hunters. Not about the cores. Not even about the thing chasing them through space like a shadow they couldn't shake. They just sat. And it was nice. Jack broke the silence. "Can I ask something personal?" Alara turned slightly. "You already do, every day." He grinned. "Okay, fair, but this one's serious." She waited. Jack took a breath. "What happens to you if the cores unlock?" Alara didn't answer right away. Instead, she walked over to a panel, pressed a button, and revealed something behind the wall. A carved silver box, ancient, covered in Varnic symbols. She touched it gently. "My heart splits," she said at last. "Not the organ, the soul." Jack tilted his head. "What does that mean? I was made to hold something that wasn't mine. The cores were sealed inside me when I was a child. And if I use them fully, they leave. Leave you how?" Alara looked down, like fire leaves wood. Jack's eyes widened. "It burns you up," she nodded. Jack stepped forward. "So unlocking the engine could kill you." "It will," she said. He stayed quiet for a long time. "Then, that's not an option." Alara blinked. You'd rather let the hunters take me? Let them use the engine for war. No, Jack said. I'd rather find another way. One. That doesn't end with you gone. She studied him. Humans confused her. They were weak, emotional, reckless, but they felt with full power, and maybe that was stronger than armor. Later, in the core chamber, Jack watched as Alara meditated, or tried to. The cores were pulsing, reacting to his presence. He stepped back. They like you, she said without opening her eyes. Good to know I'm chess core approved. She opened one eye. You make jokes when you're scared. Jack smiled. And you glow when you lie, Alara sighed. I'm not lying. Then tell me the truth, Jack said gently. You could have left me back when the first seekers came, but you didn't. Why? She looked at him now. No glow. No armor. Just Alara. I don't know, she said honestly. But maybe it's because you saw me before the glow. Jack didn't answer, because that meant everything. The ships. AI interrupted the silence. Long-range signal detected. Coordinates match. Temple of the First Flame. Alara stood up fast. That's it, she whispered. That's the place. Jack looked at the map. Looks like it's on the edge of a dead system. No light, no life. Perfect hiding place for something that was never meant to be found, she said. He nodded. Let's go. Before heading to the cockpit, Alara stopped him. Jack, he turned. I'm scared. He waited. Not of dying. Not of unlocking the cores. Then what? Of feeling too much. Jack didn't smile, didn't joke. He just said, me too. And in that quiet, something changed between them. Not romance. Not yet. But something even stronger in space. Trust. As the ship jumped to light speed, Alara stood beside him, armor on, mind steady, heart full. Her cores glowed softly, not from panic, not from duty, but from choice, from connection. And somewhere, deep in the dead system ahead, the last engine stirred, like it had been waiting for a girl too emotional to be a soldier, and a human too stubborn to walk away. They arrived in silence. The Orion drift slowed above a dead world, dark, cracked with no oceans, no cities, no sound. Just one structure, buried beneath the rock. A circle of metal. Towering gates. Ancient markings. It looked like a machine. And a tomb. Jack stared out the window. So that's it. The last engine. Alara stood beside him, fully armored, but her face exposed. Her eyes glowed faintly, not from the cores, but from fear, or maybe memory. This is where it ends, she said. Jack looked at her. Or begins. They landed on the black rock. No atmosphere, no wind. Just dust and silence. As they approached the gates, the cores in Alara's chest began to pulse harder, faster. Blue light spilled from her armor like waves. The door didn't open by hand. It opened to her heartbeat. Inside, the air was thin. The airlock sealed behind them with a low thump. The chamber was massive. Silver pillars, floating metal orbs, symbols everywhere. At the center was a platform and something like a throne. Or a control seat. Jack whispered. It's like the whole planet is the engine. Alara nodded. Built before history, powered by emotion, controlled by core-bonded minds. Jack stepped forward. And you're the key. Alara swallowed hard. No. We are. Then the ceiling cracked. The core guard had arrived. 5 Varnex warriors dropped into the chamber, tall, armored, merciless. One of them stepped forward. Return the core's carrier, and we will leave the human intact. Alara looked down at Jack. Then back at them. No. You would choose death? I would choose truth. The core guard raised their weapons. Energy hummed. Jack pulled his sidearm. Useless, but he raised it anyway. He stood in front of Alara. You want her? He said. You go through me. The leader laughed. Pathetic. You protect what you do not understand. Alara stepped forward, placing a hand on Jack's shoulder. I understand enough, she said. Then she removed her chest plate. Her cores, exposed, blazed like twin stars. The room shook. The engine woke. Light spread through the floor. The walls, the sky, symbols ignited. The control platform began to rise. One core guard fired. The shot never landed. The pulse from Ilara's cores exploded outward, not as a weapon, but a wave of feeling. Memory, pain, laughter, kindness. Emotion. The warriors dropped their weapons. Some fell to their knees. Ilara floated above the ground now, glowing fully. Her voice echoed, "This is not just power. It is purpose." Jack stepped back, shielding his eyes. Then he saw something strange. Ilara wasn't just glowing. She was blushing. Her entire body pulsed. Pink-blue. Because she wasn't powering up from fear. She was powering up from connection. From trust. From him. The engine spoke, a deep, ancient voice. Emotion confirmed. Key accepted. Engine unlocked. Then just like that. Silence. The light faded. Ilara fell. Jack caught her. Her glow dimmed. Her skin cold. "No," Jack whispered. "Don't do this." She opened one eye. "I didn't explode." "So that's a good sign," she said weakly. Jack laughed, even as tears hit his cheeks. "You scared the hell out of me. You were never safe around me anyway." Later, the core guard were gone. They had seen the truth. The engine didn't need to destroy. It needed to feel. To remember. Ilara had given it what no war ever could. A reason to protect, on the Orion. Drift. Jack sat with her in the quiet again. Stars moved outside. Her head rested on his shoulder. Her cores glowed soft pink. Not from battle. Not from duty. From something else. Maybe love. Maybe hope. Or maybe just a human beside her who refused to run. She looked up. "I'm still blushing." Jack smiled. "Yeah, and you saved the galaxy doing it."